All right. It says we're live, Shelly. Give it like a second. Dude, we got Greg and Greg.
Dana, I was just talking about Dana. I was telling Leslie about Dana.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Is there any 2x4s out there? Can y'all hear us?
Ground fog, he I guess he scours the internet. He always comments or waves, and it's like at weird times. Like he did it at 10:17.
He's like, I'm waiting for her to start. I'm going to be the first one to comment.
Yeah. And then see Greg Skeens is in here in the fiery Louisville town. So
Greg is too.
Yeah.
Hey, Forrest got a 2x4.
Right.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Homestead HQ, where we talk about preparedness and homesteading. I kind of said that backwards. I don't usually do that. But anyways, my name is Shelly, and am I pointing the right way? That's Jason, and this is Leslie.
Good evening, everybody. So, and before we get started, Leslie and I are wearing the same hoodie, and we planned it and everything.
And so they left me out. Like they totally left me out.
Yeah.
We were just texting each other.
Yeah. All day. That was the
What are you gonna wear?
That's so weird.
Yeah. So, hey, I just got an email from somebody at Kentucky Sustainable Living. What was that email, Shelly? If you're not on the email list, people need to get on the email list.
Oh, that was from me. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, this went to hell in a handbasket, hadn't it?
Yeah, that did.
No.
So,
hey, guys.
You check your email like right now because there's a great deal in there.
Yeah. So get on the email list. If you're not on there, run over to the website. There's a pop-up. I hate pop-ups, but the pop-ups work. So sign up for the email list. There's always good stuff in the email list. So, all right. Leslie, what you need to tell us what you've been up to, because we always come in and Shelly tells us what she's been doing. I say what I've been doing. So we're going to, since you're our guest, what have you been doing? Have you found property yet?
Not yet. We paused the search, but we're about to resume it. But I have been, this is like my busiest teaching season, like this month, this past few weeks, and then through the end of this week. So it's just been like basically teaching a program a day, which is fun, but it's a lot of prep work. In the meantime, I'm still trying to like forage the things and do all the things that I want to do in the autumn. So I have like 3 giant buckets full of black walnuts waiting for me to deal with them, sitting in the middle of my kitchen right now. So
well, just wait. I mean, everybody's saying that, the housing market's going to crash and everything. And
I hope so.
So, I mean, you've already sold your place. So
yep.
You're sitting pretty.
We're sitting real pretty, I think. And it continues to get better. The more we're looking, we're just sitting here waiting, and more stuff is coming into our range. So I'm definitely excited to see what we can figure out.
Oh, yeah. I saw in Warren County, prices are stupid on land, but I found some stuff. It popped up on Facebook. I think there's 67 acres, and they want right at $700,000 for it.
Wow.
But it's got, which that's a little over $10,000 an acre, and that's pretty cheap for Warren County. But it's mostly fenced. Has got stuff in for livestock, water's in for livestock, and it's got all the utilities up there. I think it was a 40 by 60 pole barn and an RV hookup. I'm like, that's not a bad price.
Yeah, that's nice.
So, Forrest, you might want to jump on that. So, Forrest is going to move up here.
Nice.
Yeah. So then if Forrest gets in the right spot and then you get in the right spot, we'll have, it was going to be the death triangle when it was just Shelly, Forrest, and I. But now it might be the death rectangle or something.
Perfect.
So, Mike Shepard's here.
Hey, Mike.
Mike.
Should we not call it the death rectangle?
Let's call it the life rectangle.
There you go. Let's be positive.
All right. The life rectangle. We'll call it that. All right. Shelly, what have you been doing? You're in an undisclosed location.
I am in an undisclosed location. So I had to travel for my job. I have to do a training class tomorrow and teach about a dozen people about the products that Spantech makes. So that's going to be fun. It is fun. It's just, like, even though I'm a trainer, like that's my job, I am not that personality, and I mean, I feel like I'm a good teacher and everything, but it is exhausting, and not in a, like, I enjoy doing it, but when I'm done, I am mentally exhausted. It takes a lot of effort for me to be turned on all the time and be positive all the time and be energetic and on all of that stuff, when I'm most comfortable just like hanging out with my farm animals and watching my pigs. I'm just, I don't know. And even my boss knows, because usually after I have like a few days doing training and stuff, she's like, why don't you go home today? Because it just takes a lot out of me. It's a lot of mental energy, I guess. And it's just a personality thing. I mean, it's not, I love my job. I enjoy where I work and all that kind of stuff, but it's exhausting. So
I understand. So Randy's just fending for himself for a couple of days, isn't he?
Yeah, he's at home taking care of stuff at home and doing some things around the house and all of that kind of stuff. And we're actually this weekend we have our land nav workshop coming up.
Yes.
We'll be doing that. But the weekend after that, the kids are coming out to help us do a bunch of cleanup and just getting things, kind of, I started to say ready for the winter, but what do you do for winter? But, like just getting things cleaned up and cleaning up the barn and straightening up the garden and all that kind of stuff. They're going to come over and help out with all of that. Just those year-end projects, so you're not overwhelmed when the spring rolls around and all that kind of stuff.
So. Well, I mean, heck, it's 65 today or something like that.
It's 80 where I'm at. It's in the 80s. Like I got off the plane and I'm like, gotta take my jacket off. This is crazy.
Well, you're down there in cartel country, then.
Yeah, something like that.
Shoot, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it was when now we're still playing the game. I mean, have y'all heard this game where you see how long you can go without turning the heat on in the winter?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're still playing that. So I'm like, okay, there's one other person left that we're playing with. So it's me and one other person. And I'm like, I'm going to hold out as long as I can.
Cold is good for you.
Yeah. I mean,
cold exposure is healthy.
Yeah. I'm fine with it. I mean, right now, the basement's like 66 degrees down here right now. I'm like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
So I've been working in my other job, tearing out my brother's kitchen. I started that today. That was fun. I found some cool stuff. I tore the bar out, and I looked down, and there's some old dimes. I was disappointed they weren't silver dimes, and then some old wheat pennies and stuff. But I found, the little address labels that all these people send you and everything. I found some of those. My mom and dad built this house 49 years ago. So this label is over 49 years old because it had my dad's old address and Bowling Green on it. And I'm like, that's cool as all get out. So I took it, I've saved it, I'm going to laminate it and put it somewhere just to keep it. I mean, it's kind of hokey sounding, but I'm like, that's pretty cool. So
funny.
Ancient artifacts.
Yeah. So, and then there was something else in there I forgot, but yeah, it's always fun when you're tearing cabinets and stuff out, the crap you find in them. So, all right, we're going to talk about. Did you get a news article, Shelley?
Well, I thought.
Or are we just going to talk to Leslie the whole hour?
Well, so you guys have probably already heard the news about what's happening in Louisville, about the plane crash and all of that. But I was watching a clip today, and I'm not an Andy Bashir fan. I haven't been since COVID. But I was watching one of his news things or whatever, and he's on there talking about the plane, the tragedy, and all of that kind of thing. And then he took it upon himself to use that to get political and trash Trump over the SNAP benefits.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, I don't know. I had to turn it off. I'm like rolling my eyes going, are you freaking kidding me? Like, whatever.
Well, I mean, did y'all watch the New York City elected a Muslim commie person for the mayor? So, I mean,
Yep.
New York was a hellhole anyway. Now it's just going to be a communist. It's going to be. I saw that last night, and I'm like, are they seriously electing this guy? So,
But I mean, look at who. Not that I think they should have elected him, but look who the alternative was.
well, what's his name? Como or whoever?
Cuomo. Yeah, Andrew Cuomo. It was the governor that like killed old people during COVID in nursing homes. So
Yeah, I mean
yeah.
that's the. I don't know that I've got strong opinions on, they elected a Muslim to lead that. It's like, cool, bro. Yeah, I don't know. It's Leslie's
kind of shocking after, the bombings. I mean, after the World Trade Center thing. I thought,
the World Trade Center was our government. So.
Yeah. Okay.
But it was. The World Trade Center was an inside job.
So I hear.
There were no terrorists on those planes. I mean, all right. Let's talk about wildcrafting and foraging before we get kicked off YouTube. So, all right. Well, hey.
So my first question. What New York deserves everything it gets after voting in a guy that said he was a socialist. Yeah, he absolutely claims he's a socialist.
Yeah.
And he's already said that he's going to be letting people out of prison and everything. Like, that poor city. I don't even know. Okay, so back to Leslie. My first question is, what exactly is wildcrafting? Because I have no idea what that means.
Wildcrafting is a fancy word for basically going outside and picking medicinal herbs that you're going to turn into medicine. So it's foraging, but specifically for medicinal plants. So you'll hear
kind of like scrapbooking, but you're making herbal concoctions. It's like a craft. Is that what
it is? Because you have to put together certain formulas and understand extraction methods, and it is a craft, because if you can't just go get a plant and eat it and think it's going to be medicinal. So you have to, process it the right way, extract it the right way, store it the right way, add it together with other things in the right combination. Yeah.
Okay. I kept seeing that everywhere, and I was like, I have no idea what that means.
It's really just a fancy word. And side note, if y'all have kids that are interested in plants, there's a really fun board game that's called Wildcraft, and it's a kid's board game, and like every card is a medicinal plant, and the board is that you're trying to get to Granny's house to pick huckleberries before the sun gets down, and you like run into a nettle patch, and then somebody has to have the herb that can heal a nettle sting, and somebody gets a tummy ache, and another player has to
find this at
on the internet.
Well, I mean, Claire Beth she's all about this.
I mean, Claire Beth I would love to play this with Claire Beth, but I got this game for my nieces and nephew, and I want to play it with them all the time. It's really fun. And you can learn your herbs that
Christmas, so I need to know where to find this thing.
I don't remember where I got it, but I'll look it up and send you a link.
Yeah, send it to me.
But it's just called
Wildcraft. Love that.
Yeah, it's so fun.
She's always going out, like we'll go outside and she'll tell me what something is and tell me what you can use it for and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, girl, you just need to come over and help me Ma pick stuff one day, and we're just going to make a bunch of stuff.
Yes, make her your little apprentice.
Yeah.
Well, all right. If we're going out and foraging right now, I know you can get walnuts. Walnuts are dropping everywhere.
Everywhere.
And walnuts, you can use walnuts for all kinds of different stuff.
Mm-hmm. Like what? Tell us what you can do with walnuts.
So the hulls of walnut are anti-parasitic. and antifungal. So a lot of people will turn them into medicine to take internally. Like you can tincture the hulls as like a parasite cleanse, to take
So are
it as
you
a
just
parasite
like
cleanse.
scraping the hull off?
It's actually the green hull. Yeah. So you can, when they're a little younger, like before they drop, it's really easy to slice through them because the hulls haven't hardened and there's not a hard nut in the middle. So you can tincture that. I mean, you could still tincture it now, but it's the green hull, not like once it's turned brown and black. You can also turn it into a topical oil for topical fungal infections or things like that. But those are its main.
I've had a couple of people tell me that they'll take a bunch of walnuts and throw them in the water troughs for animals.
Oh, yeah.
And it'll come out that way. And that's what they use. That's one of their things for worming animals.
Yeah, that makes sense because a lot of those components are water extractable. So if they sit in there long enough, you're going to draw out some of the compounds anyway.
Yeah.
I know pigs love to eat black walnuts.
Yeah.
And acorns and all that stuff. And it's great for worming.
Yep.
Tommy said we learned in SEER that willow tree leaves are a natural pain reliever.
It's true. Actually, the salicylin, or however you say it, the main constituent in willow that is a pain reliever is the constituent that got developed into aspirin in the labs. So
interesting.
Yeah.
And then Forrest
says, what I'm hearing is that bluebell black walnut ice cream is good for you. Absolutely, Forrest.
Yeah. Forrest won't have any worms or anything, will it?
That's right. All that sugar, it's fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Since black walnut, it's all good.
Right.
What else? What else are you getting?
So this time of year, the acorns are past. I didn't actually get a chance to get them. You got to really get them when they're green, and just falling off the tree, and preferably from white oaks because white oak acorns have fewer tannins. So you don't have to leach them for quite as long. They're sweeter. I missed that window because I was so busy this fall, so I didn't get acorns. But right now, there's still some wild grapes hanging on, and because it's gotten cold, they're getting sweeter. So if you can find any still hanging on, it's a good time to grab those. I'm still getting persimmons. This is their season. They're nice and ripe. Also, this is a good time to start digging sassafras root. Definitely use caution if you're doing that because there is a blight that is killing off sassafras and spicebush. So, you have to use your harvesting principles. Like, you have to harvest. You can't harvest everything you find. And then especially with the sassafras, if you are going to harvest from one plant, you need to clean your equipment like with alcohol before going and cutting off of another root because you can spread the blight on your digging equipment. And also, I like to harvest the roots of saplings because it's a lot easier to get them. So obviously, you're not going to take all the saplings that you find in an area because you want some of those to grow into full trees. But the sassafras root, our ancestors, my grandparents did this, great-grandparents, but they would take the root, turn it into a tea, and then ferment it. And the cool thing about that is that sassafras is known as like a blood purifier and like kind of like a system cleanse. And so they would often drink that, in the springtime, like just as winter was ending and it was turning into spring. So if you think about what you would have been doing, if you were living off of everything you put back for the winter, you'd have been eating a lot of canned stuff and salted meats, and not a lot of fresh anything. So it's kind of like giving your system a little detox and a little wake up as spring is happening, and you're starting to eat the spring greens and the fresh foods again. So to give your body a jump start to be able to digest all that fresh food after being in like a winter mode. So very interesting medicinally there. What else right now? You can start looking for juniper berries right now, especially if you're in a little colder areas. Like here in Nashville, we're pretty close, but it's not quite. We haven't really got down to a frost yet, but really after the first frost, the juniper berries sweeten up, and that's a great time to harvest the berries and the leaves of juniper.
I I have juniper trees in my backyard.
It's going to be prime time. Yep.
Now, when you're saying juniper, you're talking about cedar trees. What everybody.
Well, it's not a true cedar. It's known as eastern red cedar, also known as juniper. It's the same tree, but it's not a true cedar. It's not in the cedar family.
See, when you're saying cedar, you're actually talking about junipers.
Yeah. Yeah, you're talking about.
I learned that from Leslie. She's taught me a lot.
I know. She's told me that too, and I'm like, okay. So, I mean, Lord, I've got so many cedar trees here. I'd have. I don't know how many berries I would have.
That tree that you have out in your front yard with the rocks around it, that's a juniper tree.
Okay.
It's got the berries on it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
They have a lot of vitamin C, so they're a great one to put in like a vinegar extraction. You can get your vitamin C all winter. And they're also, they can help.
That at the thing that the class that you taught? Yeah, we did it in vinegar.
We did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to do that again because mine dumped out. I lost all of that.
Oh, that's right. I remember you telling me that. Well, at least you have the tree.
Forrest was not lying about the ice cream. He sent me a picture of it. He literally texted me a picture of him holding the ice cream.
So he's really eating it right now.
He's not blowing smoke.
All right, that's great.
Good evening, Bill. Bill showed up, and then Forrest has got a question.
Did Leslie say sazerac root?
No, I said sassafras.
Okay.
Sassafras.
Remember, Forrest lives in Alabama, so we got to get him a little bit.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, what else? Is there anything else good that you can think?
Yeah. I mean, let's see. You could start harvesting pine needles this time of year as it's getting colder. Like that's another one.
I saw a video one time of a guy that took pine needles, like from a white pine, and I have a pine tree in my backyard, and I thought about doing this, but he just put them in water and it fermented and made like fizzy water.
You have to add sugar, but yes, I love making the wild sodas like that.
So is that what does that do? Is that like a good for your gut thing or?
Yeah, so you're actually capturing the wild yeast when you do that. I mean, I did that with wild grapes this year too. I made a wild grape soda. You can do that with a lot of plants. You can't wash them first. So they have the wild yeast already on them, like the same wild yeast that goes into your sourdough starter.
Right.
And so if you put them with water and a little bit of sugar and then seal it, and let it sit for a while, it'll start to bubble.
A little bit of sugar
and ferment. Well, I think I do something like a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons, maybe a teaspoon to a cup of water, maybe a tablespoon. I mean, I never really measure anything. Somewhere between a teaspoon and a tablespoon.
I know Dana Russell that's in the chat, she does these ginger bug things.
Yep.
And makes like fizzy drinks like that. And I want to learn how to do that.
Oh, we can definitely do that. That's usually the base of one of my root beer recipes that I do with the sassafras root. But
see, I was wondering if you made root beer with sassafras. I have sassafras trees out. I have one out in the front yard and then one in the side yard. And Randy kept telling me, he was like, you can make root beer out of that. And I said, I don't think so. I think it's like sassafras tea or something. And he was like, no, I'm pretty sure you can make root beer out of it.
Yeah, he's right. I make a big batch of root beer every fall. And the people in my family fight over it. I have to sneak it to different people because everybody else wants to steal it. And
okay, so, you're going to have to get me a recipe because I'm going to be digging that tree up for real. I love root beer. It's like my favorite soda.
Wild root beer is interesting. You what?
I'm down for some root beer. I love root beer.
Now, wild root beer tastes a little bit different because it's actually fermented. So it has that soury, fermenty flavor in addition to whatever roots you're adding into it and barks. So you can add birch bark, sarsaparilla root. I always add ginger.
So that's where birch beer comes from, right?
Mm-hmm. Birch bark, from the birch tree.
All right. Maybe we need to do, after we do this herbal class, we need to do like a
root beer making
drink class. Like,
oh yeah, let's do
ginger
it.
bugs, root beer, all that stuff.
Let's do a wild fermentations class.
Yeah, that sounds fun. I would
Yeah.
love, because since I've quit, so I've been working with Chronically Healthy, and I have quit, like, I have cut out processed food. I have I'm not going to say I'm gluten free, because every once in a while I'll eat something, but I've quit eating gluten. I haven't had a Coke since Memorial Weekend, and for some reason I've been craving them here lately. I just want one so bad, and I really think it's just the fizzy stuff. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, if I can figure out how to make like this fizzy fermented stuff, and what is that? There's a drink, kombucha. Like, I don't want anything to do with that. That crap's nasty. I don't want.
Oh, you don't like kombucha?
No. It is gross. And because when I was talking to Dana, she was like, she's telling me about kombucha, and I'm like, no, we're not going there. So then she started telling me about ginger bugs, and I was like, I think I might be able to deal with that.
Ginger bug is great because you can make it a base for almost anything,
right?
Like any flavor. You can add ginger bug to any herbal tea and make like a fizzy drink.
Yeah.
So
I want to learn how to make that stuff, because I'm really missing sodas.
Yeah.
And, I don't know.
And the wild ferments are gut healthy, which is nice. So,
yeah.
The ginger bug is so easy. I'll send you the instructions later. It's so easy.
Awesome.
Since we touched on the class, should we talk about that?
Yeah, let's talk about the class.
All right. Leslie, if you've not signed up and got your spot for the Land Nav class, you've got a couple days left to do it. It's 25% off. No coupon code. Go on there, click, put it in your cart, check out, and it's automatic 25% off. We've still got a couple spots. This class is going to be a small class, so you're going to get a lot of one-on-one attention from Mike. Mike's going to be in. It's going to be Saturday and Sunday. This Saturday and Sunday. Don't give me the excuse of, it's opening day of gun season. You got another weekend to deer hunt. You're not going to have another weekend. I mean, literally, you've got another weekend or two to deer hunt. You're not going to have another weekend to spend with Mike. So get your spot in that thing. It's going to be fun. I'm getting all my stuff packed and ready to head up there on Friday to help him set everything up. So get that out of the way. All right, the class. December 6th at Western, where we have the festival, Leslie is going to be teaching an herbal class. And it's going to be this is not just going to be your basic, we're going to take this herb and throw it in some alcohol and do this. It's going to be more refining and getting in depth on stuff. Right, Leslie?
Yeah, it's called Beyond the Basics because we're going beyond the basics. We're going to dive a lot deeper into understanding how herbs work with the body by exploring something called your constitution. So your constitution is your energetic state, and every single person has an individual constitution. So what that means is things like, do you run cold or hot? Do you run wet or dry? And we're going to have ways for you to figure that out. I'm going to give you a questionnaire, and each person's going to figure out, like, okay, this is my baseline constitution, like the state that my body is typically in. And then we're going to learn about how herbs also have these energetics. Some herbs are warming, some are cooling, some are moistening, some are drying, some are relaxing, some are stimulating. And as we start to understand this about our bodies, and then looking at how the herbs function, then that changes the game in terms of when we're trying to figure out how to match an herb to ourselves for what we need, right? So, let's say that all three of us want to have an herb for pain relief. Well, it doesn't mean that the same herb is going to help each of us, because we might have different constitutions and our pain might have a different energetic. Like, my pain might be a cold pain, and Shelly's might be hot and inflamed, and yours might be stiff, and so there's going to be different herbs that we each need, and the only way to know that is to understand how to look at plants in that way. So we're going to be deep diving into that, and also into exploring the different flavors of herbs and learning how the flavor can also indicate the energetics. Like things that taste sour are often cooling, and things that are pungent are often warming, right? So how can you even intuitively start to like, oh, I'm going to taste this herbal tea and recognize what qualities it has. Does it dry my mouth out? Maybe it's astringent, you know.
Right.
And salty herbs are usually very nutritive. They have a lot of vitamins and minerals, you know, like nettle. And so we're going to do a lot of taste testing. We're going to be sipping and exploring. And then we're going to talk about also like, how do you formulate herbs? How do you put herbs together in a formula? You know, most of us who have dabbled in herbalism are very comfortable with like, I made a goldenrod tincture and then I just take the goldenrod when I need goldenrod. But what if you want to combine different things? What if you want to make a more effective remedy that's kind of going to cover more bases? You know, it's not as simple as, oh, well, these 3 herbs I read are good for respiratory, so I'm just going to put slippery elm and usnea and wild cherry bark just all together. Well, that doesn't really work because those have very different energetics, right? And so we're going to deep dive into understanding how to combine things for what's going on, right? Because one of those herbs is moistening, one of them is astringent, and then one of them is going to help like be an expectorant. And so if you have a wet cough, you don't need to add a moistening herb into your formula, right? But then also understanding the person who has the cough. How would you match an herb to that person and to that person's cough? So how would you create this formula? And in the class, everybody's going to actually create a formula for themselves to take home. And we're also the end section is going to be learning with more precision how to make tinctures and oils that are more potent and consistent. So I usually teach the folk method because that's a perfectly fine method of making herbal medicine and it's very accessible. But if you have some sort of issue where you're going to end up wanting to take a remedy every day, long term, and you want to be able to repeat the results, you're like, this is helping me, I want to make this exact same thing, then you have to do a little bit of measuring. You have to look at your herb to menstruum ratio. You have to do things a little different. So we're going to cover 2 methods of that kind of precise medicine making, one for a tincture and one for an oil, which will be the last part of class. So it's going to be a pretty full day of learning, but there's a lot of hands-on stuff. Like you're going to be tasting stuff, exploring things, writing things down about, taking little quizzes and creating a formula and blending it yourself. You're going to take it home. So we are definitely going a lot deeper than we've gone in past herbal workshops.
I love this because I feel like I feel like I'm ready for this.
You definitely are.
Because, like when you were talking about, you have like a goldenrod tincture and, a mimosa tincture, whatever. That's what I have. It's all of the individual things. The only tinctures that I have that I've mixed are things that I've made with you.
Yes.
So I do not feel confident in understanding that. I'm really glad that you're doing this class.
Yeah. By the end of this day, you should feel much more confident in understanding how to think about formulas and understanding the properties of herbs. And not that y'all will have to memorize those things, but I'm going to teach you like where you can find the information too. When you're like, is this herb warming or cooling? You don't have to guess. That's going to be in your reference materials, you can look, okay, this one's warming. And then you're like, oh yeah, I do get warmer when I take it. Like think about when you drink a cup of hot ginger tea, you feel warm. But when you drink lemonade, it cools you off. So, yeah.
Awesome.
So now, this might be a stupid question, Leslie, but
there's no such thing.
Like we hadn't talked long enough yet. So, ask Shelly.
I forgot who was just saying that.
I was like, we've talked a lot. Have we not talked enough? So, all right. If I run hot, and then there's herbs that are hot, would I want to take the hot herbs or would I want to take the cool herbs?
The cool ones, right?
Okay. All right.
Yeah. No, that's a really good question because, unless you're trying to, let's say you have a fever and you need to break a sweat because you want to break your fever, then you should take the hot herbs.
All right.
Because in that moment, you need those. But if you're running hot all the time and then all your remedies are warming herbs, then you're going to be burning up. That's not balance. You want to take the thing that balances you back out.
All right. And when you're talking about hot, are you just talking about like your body and your temperature then?
Your body and your temperature has something to do with it, but also people who run hot tend to get inflamed really easy, tend to get flushed, red-faced, maybe your digestion, maybe you experience heartburn, maybe you sweat a lot, maybe you feel strained. All these different things can be signs of running hot. People who run cold, not only like feel cold, but they often, like struggle with moving their bowels regularly. So there's all different kinds of like points that'll point you to what your constitution is. If you run wet, you might have extra greasy hair or greasy skin. You might be prone to diarrhea. You might have a lot of mucus all the time. If you run dry, you might tend towards constipation. You might have dry mouth, chapped lips, dry skin. So it's kind of like you kind of have to go through these checklists and see which ones have more. And some people actually are balanced in the middle, where they'll have the same amount in each category. That just means your constitution is in the middle, and that's helpful to know too. You're not really running super hot or super cold, so that's fine. That's good to know. You can base your formulas on that.
You're probably running wet. You eat Mexican, aren't you?
Probably.
That's what I was giggling about. It just came to me.
I know with me, like I am cold natured. I'm cold all the time. And but in the wintertime, my skin gets really dry. Like I drink more water in the wintertime. You'd think it would be opposite. You drink more water in the summertime, but my mouth is always dry in the wintertime. My skin is always dry. And I don't know, like we've had different houses with different kinds of heat. Cause I used to think it was like the heat that we used, or something, but it's like that all the time. Like it's been like that my whole life. I use more lotion in the wintertime, all of that stuff. And I don't know. So does that make a difference? Because I'm not like that in the summertime.
Yeah. I mean, so there's a natural shift during the seasons for everybody. Like people technically should be drinking more water in autumn and winter because it's easier to get dehydrated because it is drier. We don't have all that summer moisture. At least I'm talking about like where we live.
Yeah.
And so I think for most people, that's a natural shift. So, your constitution can shift with the seasons. It can shift as you age, especially as women when you're in, later stages of life and your hormones start changing again, or young women, hormones changing. Like your constitution will change and shift over your life. It can shift through the seasons. So if you don't feel like you run dry all summer long, then maybe your constitution is more neutral in the summer and then it shifts towards more dry in the winter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bill's got a question. Does a person who runs cold also struggle with heat, nausea, exhaustion, and fatigue?
I mean, it's going to be very personal, but I mean, what do you mean by struggles with heat if you run cold? Because I have heard of people running cold definitely struggling with exhaustion and fatigue. Nausea could be. I think that's more personal. That's not such a general characteristic, but I'm not sure what you mean by struggle with heat.
All right. We will see in a minute. Bill will comment. All right. The class sounds fun. I'm kind of excited about it. I want to know if I'm running hot or cold or wet or dry or what. So
we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah. Is there like a slimy category? Because that's kind of, I think he might be slimy.
Yeah, that's wet.
Greasy. I'm the
Yeah.
greasy,
Yeah.
the greasy used car salesman. Well, I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna slick my hair back.
Yeah.
I'll just grow my hair. I won't get a haircut before then. Just slick my hair back.
You can be my example. I'll be like, this is a person with a slimy constitution.
Yeah.
Nausea, exhaustion, and fatigue is all related to the
Oh,
heat.
you mean like when you're in the heat, like when it's summertime?
Probably so. It's
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that could be a whole number of things.
I kind of feel like so Samantha, one of you've met Samantha at the festival. She used to run track when she was in high school, and even before that, I'm going to say probably as early as like 10 years old or something like that, she would get heat exhaustion.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is a thing or not, but it seems like once she got it, now she's more prone to it. Even, like she's pushing 30 or whatever, and she still, if it's really hot outside, she'll get overheated. And she's kind of like me in the fact that she's cold natured. Like she wears hoodies all the time and stuff like that. But if she gets overheated outside, all those things that Bill was talking about, that happen.
Yeah.
It seems like she's more susceptible to that happening because, like, if we're working out on the farm, if we're doing something, like chicken processing or something like that, working out in the garden or whatever, and it's really hot, she can't hang like the rest of us. She has to go inside and hydrate and get in the air or whatever because she just gets sick.
It sounds like she's just more sensitive to temperature in general, which some people are very much like, they're really cold when it's cold, and then too much heat will do them in. And there's just like an intolerance to temperature changes. And, from the point of view of herbalism, like there's a lot of strengthening that you can do to different body systems, balancing electrolytes, nourishing the liver, nourishing the kidneys and the spleen, to kind of build up your tolerance, definitely adding more like nutritive herbs in. But also just individual people are more and less sensitive to things. And that's just, to an extent, that's just normal for people to be, have different sensitivities.
Do you think that like the level of water intake changes these things too? Like being dehydrated?
I think not just water, but proper water. So the whole thing about like water
and stuff.
Right. Because so tap water for one, not going to hydrate you, but then filtered water. Most water filters filter out the minerals. If you think about water in its natural source, spring water, wild water, you can go forage for your water and get good mineral water, but we need those minerals. Our bodies desperately need minerals. And when your water isn't in its wild form, it's also not structured. And so your cells can't pull it in before you're going through this whole process to try to convert it. So it's a lot harder for your body to use the water you're drinking, right? And so for a lot of people, they actually need to be adding some sodium and potassium back into the water also. Just because our water is in such a weird state that's so far away from its natural state, we can't actually use that water. So you can drink enough water, the water that you're supposed to drink, and still be dehydrated because you're actually not using that water properly. Your cells are not able to absorb that water because you don't have the right minerals and the right mineral balance in what you're taking in. And so I do think your electrolyte balance has a lot to do with sensitivities through a lot of body systems. Because I mean, water is life, like
right.
Every cell needs water for every single life process. So if you're not getting that, then how can your body do what it needs to do?
Right. So if you go to, say you go to Walmart and you buy a gallon of what is labeled spring water, is that?
It depends on if it's really spring water,
Right, exactly.
Like, I know for sure that the brand called Mountain Valley, that is real spring water. Like we just visited where it's bottled, so we saw it. And so that is real spring water. So that's a good brand to keep in mind.
Well, I know Chris and Tina Clark down in Hickman County, Tennessee. They have a spring on their property, and they're bottling their own water. I cannot think of the name of the water. It's like
I think I saw that on Facebook. Yeah.
And their stuff is like legit. That it's the real thing.
Go get that stuff. We need that stuff. That is life. I mean, I don't know if y'all know the history of water and of spring water, especially like Tennessee, Kentucky, and like this whole like eastern part of the US. There used to be like mineral water springs with huge like communities built around them, and doctors used to prescribe mineral waters, and different types of springs have different mineral concentrations. So the doctors would say, this is the spring you need to go to. They would write a prescription. You would take your prescription to the bathhouse. You would soak in that spring. You would drink that spring water. And then, of course, you know, all of these hotels and like healing places mysteriously have burned down. And magically the springs are cemented in. But if you can access spring water, I mean, that's absolutely your best bet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a spring out. It's out like you're going towards Hadley, out like off Morgantown Road, and you drive by it, and there's just they've done a pipe where it's sticking out, and it just runs out, and then it's running underneath the road. And you see people come in all the time with 55-gallon drums and stuff, and they're filling it up and getting that spring water. There's
a few of those around here. There's one in Bon Aqua that we've gone to fill up before, but if you go to findaspring.org,
I was wondering if you were the one that had told me about that.
You can type in where you're at, and it shows you all the springs, and then all the people comment on it. And beware, there is like a Karen on there who goes on every post and says, this one tested positive for blah, blah, blah bacteria on every single spring. But also when you go to the spring, just ask the people there, look who's filling up. And it's these people who've been drinking the water their whole entire lives. You know, and so I feel comfortable drinking that water, knowing that everybody has been drinking it forever and no one's getting sick.
Oh yeah. Now, Leslie, when you're talking about the minerals and stuff that we need, I know we need salt. We need that. What are some of what's a good electrolyte mix that you could buy off the shelf?
I don't know, because I make my own, because I don't like the balance of all the ones in the store. Usually the sodium potassium ratio is off. So, you know, if you take mineral salt like Celtic sea salt or Redmond's real salt, that's a good place to start, because that's mineralized salt. Put a pinch of that in your water. You can put a splash of coconut water and a splash of lemon juice. Coconut water is high in potassium. And then you have the vitamin C to help with all that. Then you're getting your sodium, your potassium, your vitamin C. So that's a really simple thing that I do on the daily. You can also look to herbs. You know, in a lot of ways, I like just including herbs because they have a natural like balance within them. So things like nettles, things like dandelion leaf, you can add in like hibiscus and rosehip powder, and you can mix all that with a pinch of salt and some honey, and that way you get your nature's balanced minerals all together. So it's like the ones I made y'all at the festival.
Yes, those were good.
Yeah.
They like talking about the Redmond salt. What is it? I think it's Stockdale's. It's like a Tractor Supply. They had Redmond's minerals and Redmond salt for your animals.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I bought a thing of that, and I give it to the sheep and everything every now and then.
Yeah, that's what we give our sheep too.
Yeah, I tried some of that. I'm like, dang, this stuff is good. I get a few little pinches of it and put it in my mouth. I'm like, this ain't bad stuff at all.
I mean, once you start taking in minerals, your body craves them.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like your body is like, oh yeah, we need more of that. Why are
Well,
we
and
doing that?
even so, I've been using Redmond's real salt for I guess 5 years now. And when we started using that, it doesn't even compare to,
Yeah.
you compare that to like table salt or iodized salt that you buy in the store. It doesn't even taste the same. Like it
No.
enhances the flavor of the food so much. It's a completely different taste.
Yep.
And now if I taste other salt, it's kind of like the difference between eating farm eggs and store-bought eggs.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't want that mess anymore. That doesn't taste good.
It's so true.
I love Redmond salt.
Me too.
Bring up that comment that Bill made.
The what? The electrolyte?
We have what is said. Yeah. We have what is said to be an electrolyte replacement drink. I'm sure I'm spelling it wrong.
Oh, yeah.
It's Switchel.
No, I love Switchel, and I drink Switchel basically all summer. I don't tend to really want it in the winter. Just try to listen to my body on that. Switchel is a vinegar-based drink. Basically, it's ginger, honey, and vinegar are the base ingredients, but I like to add a little molasses, a little pinch of salt, and some herbal teas. You can usually in the summer, I'll brew like a strong ginger tea as my base, and then I'll add all the other stuff that I have on hand. I usually do like an infused vinegar because I always have those on hand, like a vitamin C infused vinegar, splash of lemon juice, splash of molasses and honey, and then fill it the rest of the way with water. Maybe a pinch of salt in there and shake it up. And it's basically like Gatorade, but it's all natural stuff. It's very good for you. It's also known as Haymaker's Punch because I think people used to make it when they were out, like, you know, doing the hay in the fields all day and they would get dehydrated under the hot sun. But I have a recipe for Switchel on my Patreon that I had sent out. So.
I'll have to look at that. So when you're talking about using vinegar and stuff, you know, infusions or teas or whatever, is it always apple cider vinegar or do you ever use white vinegar?
I never consume white vinegar. I use it for cleaning because the healing properties of apple cider vinegar are pretty potent in and of itself. But all that goes away when you distill it and turn it into white vinegar. So if you're going to consume it internally, I would definitely recommend sticking with apple cider vinegar or some other fruit vinegar. You know, if you make fruit scrap vinegar, it doesn't have to be apples. You can make vinegar out of lots of fruit scraps.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Well, should we tell them about the code for the class?
Absolutely.
All right. The code for the class, we have got 15% off on Leslie's class that's coming up December 6th. The code is HERB10, HERB 50 or 15. It's 15. All right. I screwed the pooch on that.
HERB 15. HERB 50. HERB 15. If you put that in when you're checking out, when you go in to get Leslie's class, you can get 15% off the class.
We should have done what I said the other night for the code.
What did you say?
Well, we were setting everything up, and when we were talking, we were having a meeting, and we were both working on laptops. And I was like, "What do you want the code for the herbal class to be?" And she was like, "I don't really know." And I was like, "What if we just did it 420?"
No, please don't.
And I'm like, "Why?"
I can't tell you how many people when they're like, "Oh, you're an herbalist? You must be able to give me some."
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, that's not the kind of herbalist I am. I'm sorry, I can't.
That or like, do you know Snoop Dogg?
Yeah.
Are you and Snoop friends? What?
Or they ask me about magic mushrooms immediately. I'm like, you know that there's actual medicine in like all these other plants. They're like, no, we don't know that.
Talking about the mushrooms, I think if I could do like one thing crazy like that and have no consequences, I would love to like trip on mushrooms one time.
I do not want to be there for that.
So I just think it'd be fun.
So I have actually taken those before.
Have you?
Yeah. Jacked me up.
Really?
Jacked me up.
Is that what's wrong with you?
No. It was a long time ago. It was a long time ago. Jacked me up. I was at a friend's house And I was sitting there, and she had a bag of them that her boyfriend had bought. They got in a fight. I went over and spent the night with her because they were fighting. He had left, and we ate them to get back at him because they were his, right? And so we're sitting there watching a movie on TV. I feel like I'm like, this is like Taxi Cab Confessions or something. I'm kind of freaking out right now. But we're sitting there watching a movie, and she's at one end of the couch, and I'm at the other end of the couch, and I have my arm on the back of the couch like this. And I look down at her, and it looks like the couch is like 500 feet long. And I'm like, why are you so far away? And she's like, I'm not that far away. And then I look, I've got my arm back here. I look, and it looks like my arm is stretching down the couch. And I'm like, this is messed up. What is happening to me right now? It was the most, like, I've never done anything like that since. It totally freaked me out. I'm just like, I don't want to do that anymore.
They can be like super healing in the right dose and context. And
I don't think I took the right dose. I think I took more than the right dose.
You took more than. But they're actually being used in like Washington and Oregon with like people will go into a therapy session and the therapist will give them psilocybin and they'll have a whole supervised guided session. And people report, especially for things like PTSD, that they experience like massive healing that way.
Well, you took the Stretch Armstrong dose, Shelley.
Yeah, yeah. It was not an enjoyable experience.
It doesn't sound very healing.
Yeah. After I was like, I gotta go. Like, I don't even want to spend the night now. I don't know what's happening right now.
Oh goodness.
But Bill said in the comments, he said some white vinegar is made from petroleum products. I didn't even know that.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
That's scary as crap.
Yeah.
I didn't know
that. Pies are a great source for Liberty caps. That's what they're called. Is that Liberty caps? Is that the PC way of saying magic mushrooms?
I've never heard that before.
Goodness. All right. I think the class is going to be fun. I'm excited about it. I like hanging out and learning stuff from Leslie. I mean, a lot of it I'm not going to lie. A lot of it goes over my head. And I'm like, cool. That's amazing. I don't know what you're talking about, but that's great. I'm glad you know. I
love Leslie's classes. I love them. And so Leslie is doing a class. Is it in the Nashville area this weekend?
Yeah.
So she's doing a class this weekend. I shared it on my Facebook. She shared it on her Facebook. It's herbal teas and stuff like that. I would love to be able to come to that class. If we weren't having the workshop that we're doing at home, I would be there. But y'all, you need to check Leslie out because she is a wealth of information. And even, like she does monthly classes. You can sign up on her Patreon and be a part of that. She'll teach you every season what you should be foraging and what to make with it and how to look for it, what it is, and all of that kind of thing. You need to check her out. You need to be following her. You need to be talking to her. And she's always at our festival. You can come up and talk to her there. She's always teaching people how to make stuff. You can go make stuff at her booth and all of that kind of thing. If you want to get off of pharmaceuticals and I mean, you got to do, this is your own thing. We're not doctors here. We're not telling you what to do or whatever. But if you're interested in figuring out, even if like something happened in the world and you weren't able to get your medicine, do you know what you can take for whatever it is that you've got going on? Because Leslie can help you with that. You need to check her out for real.
Yeah, y'all feel free to find me. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, YouTube, all under School of Earth and Awe, AWE, and that's my website too. You can even send me a message through my website if you just have a question or want to chat or connect. But, my whole passion is helping people realize that right outside your door and right under your feet is an abundance, a huge blessing of medicine and food and things that our bodies need and want and long for. And it's not that hard to turn that stuff into the medicine that you can actually consume. And so, I was talking about a lot of, complicated things about herbalism, but if you're brand new, don't let that overwhelm you, because there are such simple methods to just go outside and find a plant and make a medicine that don't involve worrying about energetics and constitution and all that. And so do not be overwhelmed by that, because that's not the place where you start, right? The place where you start is just with one thing at a time. So
absolutely.
Yeah. And it's amazing what you can find. How much stuff, when we have the festival, you do the plant walk and everything. Mm-hmm. And that place is manicured, and all that stuff. So it's not, yes, it's at Western Farm, but that up there where you're at is a nice manicured spot. You're still finding a ton of stuff right there, aren't you?
Tons of stuff. I mean, we had dock, which helps with liver. You can also turn the seeds into flour. There's wild cherry there. You can eat the fruit. You can turn the bark into cough medicine. We found shepherd's purse there, stops bleeding. I'm just trying to remember everything. There's pokeberry up there. There's perilla up there. There's even willow trees. Talking about the pain reliever in willow. Those are growing right over that little pond. There's tons of medicine just right there. Yeah. And guaranteed in your yard right now, you have dandelions.
Yeah.
And in and of themselves, those are a powerful little powerhouse. You can have liver healing, kidney healing, vitamins and minerals, wound healing, wart removal, all in one little plant.
Interesting. All right. I think we've smoked the herb for tonight and covered everything. That or we've taken the magic mushrooms long enough tonight. So, is there anything else? Shelly is tired. Shelly wants to go to bed. She's going to have a long day of smiling at people.
Yes, I am.
You need your mimosa with you right now.
I do.
What do you say?
I'm always afraid to bring things with me when I travel, though, because I don't know. Like, I've been to so many airports that there's like drug sniffing dogs and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know what's going to trigger somebody. I won't even my salve that I use from Bose Tractor Works. I'm like, there's no way I'm putting that in my suitcase. Like, they'll sniff that crap out right now. It's whatever. But
I bring tons of tinctures every time I travel, and I've never had a problem. Just FYI, as long as they're the small size bottle.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I just need to try bringing them, I guess.
All right, guys. We appreciate y'all watching tonight. Run to the website, get your spot in the class, use the coupon code HERB15 for the
hope
15%.
To see you.
Huh?
I said I hope to see everybody there.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We appreciate y'all being here. There is a link to Leslie's website in the description. I remembered that last night. I was like, I've got to put that there. I kind of suck at doing that, but it's in there. So go check the website out. If you need her, get a hold of her. If you got any questions about the class, email one of us and we'll answer it. And
I haven't seen Miss Sharon in the comments. So she hasn't put the links on there or anything. So to sign up for Leslie's class, go to KentuckySustainableLiving.com, and there will be a link to her workshop there.
Yes, and there's a link to our website in the description, so you can just click on it. It'll take you to the website. Guys, I'll be on Friday morning, 8:00. Join me for the morning show, and then if you don't like me, you can join Shelly and I next Wednesday. Where she'll make it palatable if you can't stand an hour with me. So, is that fair to say that you make me more palatable?
I reckon.
All right, guys.
We
appreciate it. I'm ready to eat dinner. Shelly's going to go to bed, and Leslie will probably go to bed too.
I'm up past my bedtime for y'all right now.
Ooh, I shouldn't have texted
you. We appreciate you so much.
I shouldn't have texted you last night. It was so late when I texted.
Oh, I turned my phone off at 8 p.m. most nights. I didn't get it till the morning.
Oh, well, I leave my phone on all the time.
Well, maybe you shouldn't. But that's a conversation for a new episode.
Yeah, but the thing is, what if my mom needs something and my phone's off?
Well, I mean, maybe you can set it to do not disturb, but let her calls come through.
All right.
You can specify that?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
Thanks for telling her that. She's gonna put
it on do not disturb and not add you, Jason.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know.
I haven't gotten to where I put my phone on the other side of the room, and it's helped me sleep better.
I'm so glad to hear it.
Yeah. Because I still use it for my alarm, but I still hear my alarm with it on the other side of the room, and it's not right there next to my head. So,
yeah, if anybody wants more info on that, I did put the recording of that sleep class for sale on my Patreon. So
that was a good class. I learned a lot in that class.
The sleep thing, like how to go to bed.
Sleep class.
How to sleep better.
Oh, okay. I don't have any problem doing that.
It was good.
I don't have a problem sleeping. Now, every now and then, it takes me a while to fall asleep. But that's because I've sat in bed and doom scrolled on TikTok on my phone.
At least you know it.
It torques your brain up. I mean, it when you're supposed to be winding down to go to sleep, and then you stimulate it with all that stuff and all that light and images and all that kind of thing, it just torques it up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know. I'm horrible with health stuff sometimes. I admit it. I stopped and got donuts and a chocolate milk the other morning for breakfast.
All right. Good night, Dana. Good night, Bill. Good night, all y'all.
Good night, everybody.
All right. We'll see y'all later.